Today we're going to be talking about the factors of drama, how it can impact people in different ways based on the key factor of position you're in, and also explaining ways of being able to minimize the drama and conflict you may be involved in. Now, previously, I have done other videos talking about the drama itself. What is it about? When does it happen? Why does it happen? Who it's used by? How it's used? If you want to check any of that out, feel free to look back at my previous videos. I've also talked about the lifespan of drama, how it can last for a certain length of time, how it can switch and change too, all of that. But today it's talking about and observing the levels can differ depending on the situation you're in. And by being aware of that position, maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to reduce the amount of conflict you're being faced with. Okay, so make sure to stick around for this full-length video to fully understand everything that's being talked about. This is a raw one. There is no script at all, just like almost every other video that I make. So it's just going with the flow, but it's also basing it off what I've seen over time, what I've heard from other people's perspectives, what I've experienced, and the position I'm in. So it's putting it all into play right here, right now. Over time, there might be some people that do reach out or leave comments down below saying that, oh, it's nice that this channel, the way it covers stuff is different to everywhere else. It's a bit more open, not as restrictive here, not as conflictive. That can happen. That's mainly down to the style. As for the style and coverage of the channel and how things go about, I've done videos of that in the past, explaining the format, the structure, why it's different to others, and why it works and is successful. Feel free to check those videos out as well. Down below in the comment section, pinned comments, there'll be some additional links if you wish to check them out. If you want to catch up on the previous videos that I have made, including the latest breaking news on the Dylan Rounds case, made a video last night about it, so feel free to check in on it. Top right corner of the screen as well, I symbol, you click on that top right corner, you'll be able to find the video and some others to be able to be linked back to what's previously been talked about, okay? So, why is this video coming about now? Because I suddenly had the idea, the thought to do so, and with the odd few people over time reaching out about their experiences and how it's got messy, when you compare theirs to mine, it's different. Mine isn't as messy, but there is a key factor, and that's the position and the structuring of it all. That's why I'm explaining it today, so then it makes it more clear for those people and others out there and those in the background, and it can serve as help towards others down the line in the future, in the true crime community, or just elsewhere, right? It can happen anywhere, any place. Maybe more so online than in real life, but in real life you can have conflict too. But we're talking about like the online perspective, right, on different platforms today. At the end of the day, maybe there is current ongoing drama going on in the background, whatever, wherever that is. Maybe this video could help with that in some way or another, or some people watching right now could take from this and then apply it elsewhere in the future, okay? So when it comes to the drama aspect, there are positives and negatives to it. Sometimes it's good that there's drama, other times maybe not, and the outcome can differ as well, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. At times, drama can be a way of spreading awareness about a problem, an issue, or a person or a group, which then can lead to some kind of resolve afterwards. There's been successful moments in the past, not in the Dylan Rounds case, not so much in the true crime community, but just in general on YouTube, where there might have been channels in the past that have done bad things. It could be mistreating animals, it could be causing attacks on other channels or something, and then the awareness has come out, it's broken through. I think, end of the day, sometimes it can be a popularity contest, right? As I said, I've already explained that as well, about how people in general have the perception that drama equals success equals views, but it doesn't. It only matters and it's only successful as if you've got a big popular YouTuber, celebrity, somebody that might be having a go at another popular person, and then others get involved in between. As long as there's at least one well-known popular person that's caught up in some kind of drama controversy, then it's successful. But if you've got two nobodies or general public people, content creators or viewers having a go at one another, it means nothing. It doesn't lead to much. It could arguably be a waste of time. So then you seek to other factors as to explain why people would continue. And one of them would be like self-defense. Now, self-defense can happen in different ways too. But I think before we go any further, let's just try and highlight the two key positions when it comes to YouTube drama, TikTok drama, Instagram drama, etc. There's two sets of people: the creator, the viewer. The content creator, the audience member, right? When it comes to drama there, a content creator, their channel could get caught up in drama with another content creator out there, and they're at it back and forth, and maybe the community's audience members are as well, like a big scale war. Other times it can be audience members within the same group as one another, having it out with one another, or externally. And then sometimes it could be audience members or a member having a go, causing drama with the channel owner or another channel out there. There's different ways it can go, right? If you've got an audience member having a go at another audience member and drama comes from it, it's kind of low scale. In terms of the power dynamics, somewhat equal because they're on the same grounds, they're on the same platform, they've got the same amount of power, technically speaking, they're a viewer, and that is all. Take in mind that at times a content creator, a channel, an established one, can become a viewer, can become an audience member if they move on to another channel out there, another video out there, and just watch, right, as a viewer, spectator. And an audience member, simply a viewer online, can turn and transition into a content creator if they wish to, by then consistently making videos. So, two different positions, but both can interchange with one another depending the environment they're in. The content creator being on their own channel, they've got more power, technically speaking. Audience member, less power, but if they step up themselves, which is very easy to do by simply uploading videos to one's channel, then it kind of levels up the playing grounds with the content creator they might watch, look up to, or somebody else out there that they don't like. Levels the playing fields. So that's the key thing. And what we've seen within the Dylan Rounds case or true crime community, sometimes it starts off as low-scale drama between certain audience members or audience members with external ones or content creators. And then once they've had enough, or once they supposedly need to provide receipts, some kind of evidence, not all the time, but some, try step up, try make the most of it with their channel, because at the end of the day, everyone that leaves comments on YouTube, on videos, they all have a YouTube channel. You need a Google account then to be able to sign into YouTube to then be able to leave comments on YouTube, so videos. It's pretty straightforward, that. So when people do step up, when people do have possible evidence to throw out there, to throw it back in the face of others, to push back, whether it be in self-defense or other reasons, then they become more of a content creator, because now they're producing content, they're producing material all of a sudden. So then it kind of like evens it up with other established channels out there which have been around whilst the other person was just a viewer at the time. But now it's like a channel versus a channel situation. Okay, one still may have a bigger audience than the other, but one person has stepped up now on level playing grounds. So you could say it's a bit like some kind of sport, some kind of formation, some kind of, I don't know, chess maneuver. You're playing chess. Maybe some people say checkers, I don't know. Whatever, board game, minefield of mind games, all kinds of stuff going on, right? So just to reiterate and summarize once again, in case anyone's confused, drama, conflict can come about. It can involve a content creator, their channel, or it could involve a viewer. And sometimes that viewer can step up to become a content creator through the drama and conflict, to make a point or to defend themselves, right? And maybe that does even it up a little bit in terms of the power dynamics, right? But still, drama can escalate depending on the situation you're in. Now, if you looked at it holistically speaking without thinking too much about it, if you compared a viewer to a content creator, who would you think is more likely to receive more drama, backlash, criticism, get involved in trouble, or issues with other people? Who's going to have more eyes looking on them if they make a mistake, or if they get something wrong, or they say or do something others don't agree with, which then leads to conflict? Who? A content creator, or simply a viewer that just watches videos and that's it? Well, normally you would think that the content creator, the channel, the person that uploads videos to their channel, that puts them out there, right? Puts themselves out there publicly speaking. Maybe they show their face, they show their voice. If they make quite a few different videos, different topics, talking points, eventually, possibly, you're going to establish an audience and just random people online are going to see your videos. So you'd think the person that's most active on YouTube, that puts themselves out there the most, are more likely to receive drama and conflict, get caught up in it, get attacked as well, more than ever in comparison to simply an audience member that watches videos, may leave the odd comment here and there. You would think that. But based on my experience, and only my experience, right? You compare me to viewers in the true crime community, maybe more so the Dylan Rounds case, who has had more drama, who has been attacked the most? It would be audience members, ex-audience members, just viewers out there. And I know as time's gone on, some people have created or developed their channels, suddenly started uploading videos to their channel in response to the drama, the conflict, a catalyst which then got them going from there on. But at a point in time, they were a viewer, okay? Now, when it comes to me, right, I started YouTube in 2013, and obviously before that, I was simply a viewer. But before 2013, I didn't have an account on YouTube. I could watch videos, but I couldn't leave comments. And that's just because of the age I was at the time. Okay, 2013, 13 years of age, and so on. But if you're thinking before that, and the age and everything, wouldn't have had an account, there wouldn't be a need to. I know at that age, I wouldn't be thinking I need to leave comments. So in my situation, it doesn't apply to me creating a channel based on drama, conflict, which then propelled me forwards in terms of defending myself and then getting my voice out there, spreading the word. No, I just created a channel because I wanted to create videos and upload them online randomly. That's it. So I'm significantly different to quite a few, ex-viewers then turned into content creators, such as in the true crime community, because whether people agree with it or admit it or not, that there'll be people out there that won't acknowledge that the reason why they've got a channel now or why they've started making videos is because of that drama and conflict which propelled them in the first place, a catalyst. They're not going to acknowledge that. But in my situation, I don't need to acknowledge it at all because there was no drama, there was no conflict back when I started YouTube, my channel, because I wasn't getting involved in any drama, conflict, nothing like that happened. And why? Well, simply because the videos that I was making, one, I wasn't a part of a community, no community. Two, the age I was. Three, infrequency of videos. Four, I was a no-named individual, right, at the time. No one really gave a damn about me because no one really knew about my channel, right? The odd 1 or 2 people, that was it, right? On average, 5 to 10 views, 170 subscribers up to early 2020. From 2013 to early 2020, I gained 170 subscribers in all those years. It really says a lot, doesn't it? A massive failure my channel was, but I wasn't taking it serious. I wasn't focusing. I wasn't trying too hard. And videos that I did make, it was just random stuff, infrequent. But then obviously when covering cases, mysteries, it just suddenly kicked off. That was a sign that I was doing something right. So I might as well keep up doing it as much as I can, even if there are roadblocks, obstacles in the background. But you see how my channel came about. And it was only when I became more known and I started sharing my thoughts and theories on cases and specific language where people misunderstood. It's only then when there might have been a bit of drama, conflict, misunderstanding, escalations, and so on. So it was more delayed for me. Drama and conflict occurred with me at a later point when I became more established and more well known. But when it comes to viewers, general public, such as the true crime community, they've actually accelerated in being involved in drama and conflict at an earlier rate before they've even had a channel of their own. That's a key difference there, right? But why would that actually happen? You know, kind of like how we were referring back to the original point. If you got a channel, a content creator puts themselves out there more than a viewer, well, that channel should be receiving more resistance and conflict, right? But I just think when it comes to the true crime community, I'm speaking of that because that's what I've been involved in. It could apply to other communities out there as well, but let's just focus on something we know well and have seen ourselves. That it might depend how talkative you are and how outgoing you are and how much reach you express when it comes to people, right? And once again, it does come down to the position one is in. And I will try and explain it right now, and maybe I can elaborate further. When you're a content creator and you're doing it regularly and you're taking it somewhat serious, yes, there could be that expectation of being criticized more, being called out more and more drama because you put yourself out there, etc., etc. But there is a key thing which keeps you somewhat grounded if you take YouTube somewhat seriously and you do it regularly, is because you're covering a certain topic, a theme, whatever you're doing on your channel. If it's somewhat successful, you keep on doing it, right? So it kind of keeps you grounded. So if all other kinds of dodgy, bad things happen in between whilst you're doing your thing, yes, you can defend yourself, and at times it's definitely needed to protect your own channel. Everything you have built and established and the videos you have documented over time, you want to maintain a form of credibility, you got to defend yourself. You may have to back certain things up as well. So because you're doing something, even though conflict and drama can occur on the platform YouTube and it can on TikTok, you're already here because you've got something else to be doing, to be creating videos, to be spreading awareness, to be keeping something alive, to be entertaining people, whatever the topic might be, which entails those key factors. So because you're a channel owner and a content creator, that's what keeps you grounded. That's what keeps you keep on going, and also slightly reducing the drama you may be exposed to or how you react to it. Whereas if you're a viewer, right, audience member at first, maybe you could be more talkative, maybe because you're on more than one channel. That's how you can get involved in drama and conflict. You're not as grounded. There's not as many like restrictions which keep you on a straight path. You can go anywhere, any place, any time with maybe less consequences because you don't have a proper established channel yourself and you're just a viewer. The consequences are a lot, less in significance compared to if you were an established channel, right? If you're a channel owner, whilst yes, you do want to defend yourself at times to set the record straight, you don't want to cause too much problems yourself because that could be at risk of your own channel being punished and maybe taken down, as we've seen with other people out there. Your channel gets taken down, technically you're screwed in a sense. Some people have backup channels, other people try and ban evade, some people get away with it. But at the end of the day, if you like and you enjoy what you do, you got to try and avoid destroying it, right? But if you're a viewer, you haven't got much to lose. So depending on the situation you're in, basically reality is if you haven't got much to lose, you're more than likely to get more involved in drama and conflict compared to if you were a channel owner, content creator, who may have more responsibilities, who may have more eyes on you because you're putting yourself out there more, but you keep grounded and you stay in a certain lane because you're doing your own thing. But how can a viewer do their own thing when they've not really got anything to follow? There's no true direction. All they're doing, and it's not in a negative way, but maybe aimlessly searching about for answers here or there or things that may interest them, regardless of the channel. Whether they like the channel or not, they may go here and they may go there to learn about something, right? Or to entertain them. There's no clear direction. So by going all over the place, here, there, everywhere, the more places you attend, the more people you're around, the more you interact with people, the more you leave comments all over the place, the higher the chances that at some point or another, you might get on somebody's wrong side, you might cause trouble yourself, someone may disagree with you, someone may not like your attitude, tone, whatever, and then that's when the falling outs occur, right? When it comes to me, right, I'm a content creator because I'm uploading videos to my channel on a regular basis. I'm trying to follow somewhat of a consistent form, frequency, and a bit of depth too. As well, I'm covering a particular theme and topic, missing people, mystery cases, true crime, right? Kind of complements one another on specific cases because I'm very specific. I'm not just aimlessly going from one case to another. I'm focusing on just a couple, and that's more than enough. And there's always something to talk about one or the other or both at the same time, depending, right? So there's a bit of a direction there. I'm not going elsewhere. I'm not going on to other channels, and 99% of the time, I'm not going on other live streams or live panels or live call-ins. So I'm reducing that risk of interactional drama and conflict, okay? Interactional drama. The more you put yourself out there and spread yourself onto other channels, around other people, other audiences and groups, the majority, right? Some point it's going to go wrong. Caused by you, could be a mistake, it could be on them to blame, but it will eventually happen. If you stick to yourself, you do your own thing and you try to keep your head down because you can in the first place, unlike a viewer, you can reduce that drama. As I said, it links back to the position you're in. If you're in a position where you've got kind of a responsibility to keep your channel alive, to keep things alive, to entertain people, to grow yourself, if that's what you want to improve your channel, you want to improve your numbers, you want to do better than the last time, there's going to be those factors where it's like, okay, there's trouble going on, but does it concern me, yes or no? Most of the time, maybe not. So I'll just leave it aside and I'll just keep on doing whatever I'm doing, right? But you got to be in a certain position in the first place to be able to have that mentality and to be able to do it, right? If you're just a viewer, as I said, in a position where you've not really got much to lose, it's like, so what? It doesn't matter if I do get caught up in this. It doesn't matter if I do involve myself in this or that. And maybe at times down the line, some of the viewers do end up realizing, oh, maybe it's not needed, not necessary, or I've had enough now. But that whole process, that whole transformation of going from, I've got nothing to lose, I don't care, never mind, to then, do you know what? End of the day, it's not really worth my time. It's a waste of time. I'll leave it. You don't have to even go through that transformation in the first place if you're a content creator, because there's other things at hand which are more important than the drama and conflict. Sometimes, though, drama and conflict can complement a topic or aspect that you're doing to raise awareness of a certain point or problem within what you're doing, or defending yourself against that resistance. That's when it's most necessary, and that's when it's guaranteed that you will get yourself involved in drama or conflict, because there is a bigger reason long term why you've got to do it. But as a viewer, you don't really have to get involved with drama to begin with, but it's not always your fault. Sometimes you can be dragged into it, other times it can just be unexpected, out of nowhere. And maybe it comes down to how do you deal with it in the first place. Now, here's the thing. If you're a content creator, you do your channel, you're in that position in the first place, and you do come across the drama and conflict, you can incorporate it in your videos for the right reasons, if it's appropriate and if it's valid and relevant, right? And sometimes by covering it, it can reduce it. it can suppress it, it can push it back down the line. I know other people say it intensifies it, but so does leaving it and letting it snowball effect to the point of where it's gone about so much, these talks, rumours, that it's actually, what do you call it, tainted the channel's image, because the channel kept quiet for too long. Too many people out there now believe the lies as the truth, and then if you do present yourself, it gets messy. So if you are able to defend it as soon as possible and clear it up as soon as possible, then it's not so much of a problem. Now, there'll be viewers out there who may not have much to lose, at least for online, but in real life, they may have more to lose, and what they may be at risk of losing ties in with the drama and conflict, because this is the thing. Might vary with different communities out there. Maybe true crime, it's more rough, it's more rugged, no limits, no hold bards. We go further, we push harder. And some people, if they've got previous past criminal records, past criminal history, that can be incorporated to how they show their true colours, or how they start or attack people right at a point in time. Dylan Round's case, Dylan Round's community, I said that there was few people here and there that may have had criminal history, backstory there, got in trouble in the past. And whatever they did in the past is kind of, mirroring what they're doing right now, or what they were doing at the time with their behavior, their attitude, sudden snaps, or a bit of nastiness here and there, replicating what they were once like in a past, I was going to say past life, but that sounds a bit delusional, how they were in the past, right? So, true crime community drama is probably where it's some of the worst stuff out there. You get drama everywhere in real life and online on different platforms, of course, but certain communities can be more intense than others, right? So yes, besides the factor of the position you're in, which can determine how much drama and conflict you receive and get involved with and how intensified it is, it's also the environment of the community you're involved in. Are you involved in the true crime community as a whole? Are you involved in the football community? Are you involved in the gaming community? The gaming community can be very toxic and very whingy and whiny, but it's nowhere near the same nastiness levels as if you were in the true crime community, okay? Why is that? Well, the gaming community, video games, not as real life, not as important, but real life humans interacting with one another in some way, playing against each other, comparing, competing, the lot. It can get a bit competitive. It can get a bit desperate within some people, unpopular, unfavourable methods or suggestions or words, responses, whatever. Name calling, insults, maybe some inappropriate words and others which may get people offended, typical, but you get what I'm saying. Does it get any further than that? Well, obviously there's been the odd few occasions where someone has been killed in real life for a video game because someone made fun of the other or did too well, so the other person got angry and said, I'm going to come to your house and, get my revenge, which people would say is a bit too far, a bit too drastic, but does it happen very often? Not that often, okay? But for most part of it, it's just a lot of talk, insults, whingy, whiny behaviour, which can be annoying, but it's not truly nasty. You compare that with the true crime community drama, that can get more nasty, and we have seen it firsthand, right? I don't know about other true crime cases, but like Dylan Rounds, some people getting fired, some people ringing up somebody else's boss, whatever. Like sneaky behaviour in the background, which can impact people's personal, real lives, right? There may be family members or friends being contacted by other strangers on behalf of somebody else, which then causes conflict within the background of other family members and friends with one another, causes tension. It's like burrowing underground to a relative, a family member, a friend of that person you've got drama and conflict with, and saying something bad to the relatives, to the friends of that one person, to then cause, a barrier, conflict between them. So all these like little eruptions going on all over the place, which then involves the real life aspect, right? That can happen with content creators. It can happen with viewers. There's no key factor there, but the understanding of if a viewer, despite the position they're in, where they don't really have to get involved in the first place, if they do get dragged in, and they do have to defend themselves, do they really have to defend themselves? Well, the times it would make sense and it would be understandable as to when they would defend themselves is when whatever they got dragged in with, the drama, which actually impacted their real life, that's when it does make sense, when you've got no choice but to defend yourself there. As for the online aspect, you'd only really have to defend yourself on the online aspect, besides real life, as if what you do and participate in is online. So channel owner, creating videos, doing what you do. You want to preserve the channel. You want to keep it alive. You want to keep it healthy. You want to avoid being reported or taken down. You got to defend yourself against the resistance. If you're a viewer, and it more so is drama which could impact real life or real life connections with people, you got to preserve and defend yourself through the usage of online communication, but more so the driving force is defending what you have in real life to prevent it from, being taken out of your grasp. It could be an object, it could be an item, it could be a position, it could be some other kind of object, or it could be a person, I don't know, contact, network, I don't know, stuff like that. But as I said, if you're a channel owner, in real life things can happen too. You've seen it with people probably aren't going to know. Was it someone called Jack's film, Jack, and then you got SS Sniper Wolf, two people having, back and forth drama with one another. One's in the right, the other one's in the wrong. SS Sniper Wolf is in the wrong. Been reacting to videos for many years without giving credit to where the original video came from, and the Jack's Film guy, who's also an established channel, has raised the issue about it to YouTube and stuff and covered it ever since, and then it led to the Sniper Wolf person illegally doxing, keyword that, isn't it, doxing the Jack's Film guy in real life, which has then put his life on hold and his family in some kind of danger. So channel owners and content creators, despite being in a higher position of power, if you want to call it that, compared to a simple viewer, they can still be targeted in real life as well, which then you've still got to defend yourself. But as said, we're just talking about the volume of drama and conflict based on the position you're in. And as I said, if you're a channel owner and you do something on a regular basis and you take it serious enough, you can divert yourself away from most of the drama, the talks, the messing about and the resistance, because you've actually got a path to follow, a direction in a certain way, which is mainly away from the drama. But if you're a viewer, you're loose all over the place. There's no chains, there's no restrictions. You go wherever you want, you do whatever you want, you watch whatever you want. Some people can consistently watch or follow a singular channel, and that can themselves lead to receiving less drama and conflict. Let's at least acknowledge that, okay? So this is one of the first elements and factors which could help viewers out there that seem to get involved with so much drama and conflict over time. And that is, limit the channels you involve yourself with. Now, it's not directly telling you what you can and can't watch or who you can and can't support. We've already seen that. We've already been through that within the Dylan Rounds casing community. But if you as a viewer are sick and tired of drama, conflict, and you want to get away from it, or you just simply want to reduce the amount you're exposed to, simply take a step back from certain channels, whichever ones they may be. Maybe pick out the channels which seem to have the most drama, or the channels you involve yourself in which the audience members seem to cause you the most trouble. Back away from that and then just focus on a few select channels out there. It may make it easier for you just in general, being able to learn as you go along. As I said, it depends what you're interested in. If you're interested in a range of different topics and activities and all of that, it can be harder and difficult. But if you are simply involved and interested in missing person cases, true crime as a whole, serial killers, documentaries, mysteries, etc., just pick out a few select channels which do that stuff you're interested in and focus on that, instead of all the other channels bloatware which do the same thing but cause you problems in certain ways, right? Why do I say that? How can I say that when I am a content creator? I'm not in a position of a viewer. I've not been in the position. Personally, I'll be honest with you, I have never been caught up in drama or any of that nasty stuff as a viewer elsewhere. There's been the odd comment response from some random person, which has been a waste of time and an idiot of a human. That's about it. But that's not drama. I'm sure you'll be familiar with drama and conflict, how extensive it can be and prolonged, and grudges and getting attacked in different ways, slander, defamation, people backstabbing you in the background, going behind your back, doing this and that, all kinds of sly, covert tactics. That's kind of like drama and conflict intensified on certain scales. But as a viewer, I've never been caught up in drama. I've never been involved in drama as a viewer. I have defended myself against drama, resistance, and conflict, and some people have made it into drama and conflict when not needed, when I've been a channel owner. But that was at a later stage of when I became more known as a channel owner. So really, my experience is very specific to the point where I can't talk on behalf of everybody else out there, including viewers, but I do have a counterpoint in which maybe you need to listen to. It's that people have reached out to me, such as in the comment section or the live chat, where they've said, this place is good. I don't get attacked. I feel safe. It feels more calm. It feels more relaxing. And whether people say that right now or just said it in the past, multiple people have mentioned that point. That when they've suddenly come here from escaping or having a break from other channels out there and participating in the live Premier chat here or the comment section, they've just not been attacked. And that's simply because, and they've acknowledged it themselves, here on this platform, on this channel, with the audience members, whoever's present, it's more healthy. Yes, you get third-party cancer and rats that show up over time. That's temporary. We're talking about long term. We're talking about since day one, okay? It's been reasonable. People haven't really got attacked to that extent. Drama and conflict hasn't really escalated or begun from here and then spread elsewhere. Not quite. There's been times where people have caused tried causing conflict with me, and I've simply defended myself, and it's been in line with what I've been creating as for covering a topic which there's been disagreements, a misunderstanding, certain wording, whatever, and I've just set the record straight. It ties in with what I cover, so then, as I said again, got to defend myself there. What would I say? What's the only bit of tension where it's been kind of like within? Maybe between Confluence and Clio, that disagreements. One being quite straight talking, straight to the point, which to others could be seen as a bit rude or harsh, but they've experienced a lot of darkness themselves in the past. So they're going to be more alert than others. They might be a bit more responsive than others. They might be a bit quick to the mark because they know what they know based off what they've experienced. And as for the other people that haven't, it's like, whoa, you're going in a bit too hard here, a bit strong with words, but it can happen. I mean, the only reason why I say that is simply because I've picked up on stuff in the past where I've made an observation about a person and made the observation about the worm effect, the Black Widow. You remember that? A certain someone. And I got it right every time. But if I went all in directly at that moment, people would say, Raf, whoa, no proof, or not enough, we don't believe you, or yeah, maybe just tone it back a little bit. But in here, I know what I know, and then eventually it happens, okay? And then people catch up with it. It's that 0.5 second rule of picking up on something in 0.5 seconds. Applied it on a small scale, upscaled it ever since, and it's happened. But as I said, in terms of pure drama and conflict, it's just not happened here, not within the audience. There have been people that have shown their true colours and broken away. Now, would you call that drama? Individual singular drama, and the response being simply defending myself. As I said, that formal procedure because it's relevant to what I'm covering and doing. And with time, mostly it's been short-lasting. When people have had enough, they've made it very clear that they've had enough, and they've either quietly departed or they've made noise on the way out. And as said, some have returned back on their hands and knees like a dog and are suddenly on good behaviours. You want some doggy treats? You want walkies? Don't worry, this is still here. It's never left. But you get what I'm saying. So if at points there are misunderstandings, disagreements, that's what it tends to be. Before the drama, the true drama, it can lead to a misunderstanding or a disagreement, which then escalates from there on, etc., as I've seen it. So it doesn't fully escalate here. There's been times where people obviously have tried acting out, tried acting smart, which has instantly failed, unfortunate there, but you know, people do try and apply different methods. Obviously, I have seen humans over time that try and be a wannabe version of Warlike Ref with using specific wording, key terminology, trying to act like some kind of psychologist, psychological references and words, trying to flip it back onto me as if it's some kind of like high IQ maneuver, but I've already instantly detected and picked up on it before they probably had the idea to physically implement it, visually speaking. So it doesn't work there either, but people do try to flip the switch. Kind of like you had a kung fu master and you had the apprentice, and eventually the apprentice learns everything, becomes strong, but then turns on the master, and the apprentice then becomes the master, and the power dynamics change and shift. So sometimes you don't want to give people too much knowledge, because then they can take control of it and then overthrow you, right? Just like how you don't want to throw too much ammunition out there or it can come back on you. So the more you talk, the more mistakes you make, or just the more you open up, the more prone you are to possibly being attacked. Now, as said, reverts back to, if you're a channel owner, you do your own videos, do your own thing, and you're talking, you're making videos, you're talking about this, you're talking about that. Well, if you're going to talk and you might say things, there's more room for criticism and being called out, picked up on stuff, whether it be a mistake made or an inaccuracy, whatever it might be, or a disagreement there with a thought or idea. But the same can apply as if you are a viewer, more so an interactional viewer that participates in the live chat, live panels, or comment section in general. Maybe after a video, you may leave a response, you may reach out to people, you might make friends and contacts, you know, some people have done in the true crime community, and then branch out from there. And then once you've branched out, and once these viewers have established a network of supposed friends online, down the line it eventually crumbles and breaks down, because whilst you've got friends and friends, and then friends of friends of friends, the original friends start talking behind the back of the friends of the friends of the friends, and then it comes full circle, and then it all implodes on itself, and then people feel like they've been backstabbed all of a sudden. So as well, the more friends, the more contacts you make, the more chances things will go to shit, okay? You have a few select people, you know who you know who they are, there's a bit more trust, a bit more relaxed, okay, less chances of backstabbing, because the only people you know are them, and you don't know any other people on behalf of them. So you keep it at that level, that pace, less drama there. But as I said, if you are a content creator, maybe there's less time hanging around a campfire, talking about stories and being prone and open to getting attacked there, because you're too busy focused on something else, as I said, that anchor which holds you down but guides you in the right direction. But if you're a viewer and you're talkative and you might be quite sociable in different ways, in the chat, in a live stream, in a call-in, you're putting yourself out there in that situation, and you incorporate the factor of appearing on different panels, shows and channels, as well as making multiple different contacts, friends, inner groups, inner circles, upon friends, and outer friends and external sources, that eventually it will catch up on you, whether you make a mistake yourself or they decide to make the first move, and that's how you get attacked. And that's how all the underground warfare can take place. Sometimes it's plotted, other times it's just unexpected on the spot, okay? The more you interact, the more contacts you make, the more chances you are likely being caught up in some kind of drama or conflict, okay? Whether it be by you, by somebody else coming after you, or with all the people you've made friends with and connections with in between. Some of them have actually dragged you into it, so they want you to defend them with whoever they're dealing with, which then makes you an enemy of that random person you don't know of, but that random person knows the people that you're friends with. So then you become marked, you become involved in it as well. And maybe you didn't want that, but you know, if you show a bit of empathy, or you want to stand up, you want to support somebody else out there, then it can lead to you being caught in a crossfire, which then kind of leads to collateral damage. And of course, positive and negative drama with positive negative outcomes in between, there can always be collateral damage where maybe it is unnecessary. So how do you avoid the collateral damage part? Well, as said, you try and reduce and limit the channels you're on which you may view. As said, you're a viewer, there's no real anchor holding you down to guide you in a certain direction. You're simply watching videos and a range of them to widen your knowledge and understanding of whatever. But it can lead you to being prone to being attacked by multiple different sources and outcomes and people in between. Okay, so besides limiting the channels in the communities you appear on, you can also limit the contacts you have. You can actually treat it like the tower spiral effect, and that's been made up by me on the spot, but I do know exactly what I'm referring to there, and I'll briefly summarize it right now. You can have a tower, you can have a spiral in which at the top, the tip, the pinnacle, don't get carried away, watch you're crazy. At the very tip and top of the pinnacle, it could be you or maybe some other person on the side where you may interact with and they know a fair bit and you communicate with each other. And then below that, there's another person you may know, and then below that, there's another person you may know, and so on and so on and so on. And then at the very bottom, it's just randomly the general public as a whole, right? Basically, it might be people you're friends with or best friends with or people you trust more than others, okay? And depending on that situation of the tower level you're up at, people may hear things differently or know more or less than one another, depending on the situation and position you're in. Now, not saying about you're low down on the tower or list, you treat it as you, the viewer in your situation, okay? And it can apply to channel owners as well. If you're a content creator, develop a tower, develop a spiral. At the top could be you, and just below or around about you could be another person or two which you trust. Share experiences with, knowledge, findings, research, or discuss the problems, ongoing problems in the background, whatever. And then below that, a few other people, below that, a few other people. If everybody is all on the same level, then there's more chance of you getting caught up in the drama and conflict because everybody knows everything what's going on, and it just gets a bit messy. And the reason why you've got to complement limiting the people you may know or the certain sources and networks you may make is because, whilst yes, you could have a tower of hierarchy in which there'll be some people you trust more than others, and you might share more information more with others than some, that can lead to its own problems. If there's a hierarchy, is there a level of favoritism? Not really, but if you got a range of people, more than maybe 2 or 3, and it might be 5 to 10, just depends the situation, and you share this and that, it is opening up possible vulnerabilities. Ammunition may be given to the wrong people. Okay, if the US gives arms to some people in other foreign countries, it can flip back onto them and they face consequences. You give people ammunition, it falls into the wrong hands. If they turn down the line for whatever reason and change, then they can expose you or expose something you've been mentioning or talking about. You see, that's one of the core elements of drama and conflict, how it can really go downhill. And it's been one of the key things which has happened so often with all those allegiances, all those contacts made with all these other people out there, channel owners, but mainly more so viewers, members, audience members, etc., that have all grouped together, pledged allegiance to one another. Then there was a breakdown in communication at some point, and because one or two went behind each other's backs and then things were shared in the background, then that was brought to light after, which then exposed one to another, and then the other people, the remainders, heard about it eventually because it came to the light so everyone could see it. Massive implosion, it all collapsed on itself. Okay, it's like when you get some people out there that go on panels and they give their life story, or they mention sensitive topics, matters, experiences, or current problems, illnesses, issues, just be alert and aware that no matter where you are, even if you are on a platform or channel where you feel comfortable, if it's public, you are prone and you are at risk of being attacked or it being manipulated down the line, right? So like with the Dylan Rounds true crime community, it's a no holds barred area, okay? No limits with some people out there. If you attend channels, live call-ins or panels, maybe as a viewer and observer, and you share your stories from the past, sensitive, very negative, very bad, controversial, maybe it's to do with criminal history, backstory there, or it might be how you've been treated physically or mentally and it's not gone too well, or a current illness you may be experiencing, or someone you know that is going through that, or even a death. All of that can be used against you in the future by someone that may not like you, or where there's misunderstandings and conflict from there, where it becomes deep-rooted and the attacker goes deeper than the other to gain a point, okay? So basically, if you are going to share personal experiences, it's best to do it in the background, because if you do it public, people can listen in, anyone can, and then it can be twisted against you as an insult down the line. It's already happened several times with many people out there, right? It can happen. I think I've mentioned that once in the past or so, probably, but basically, when you're a viewer, if you talk more, there's more risk of giving others out there at some point down the line some kind of ammunition, okay? Now, I'm going to give you an example, but it's not a negative example. It's more of a positive one, but it's just to try and put into perspective from my own experience, okay? So there might be people out there that might question me. Hey, why are you not making a funny edit of me? Why are you not making a funny video about me? Why are you not doing a response video, a light-hearted one about me? Well, it's because you don't put yourself out there. You don't upload photos. You don't upload videos to your channel. You don't leave too many comments. You don't really act out in either an overly funny or over drastic way for it to trigger a response in the first place. But if you had someone like Betty Hayward, okay, with the way she is, because she's uploaded videos, her responses, she's put herself out there, which has then led to the opportunity of ammunition, but not for the wrong reasons. Take that into consideration, for the right reasons. So if I'm going to do a funny video, a funny edit, light-hearted, I need material in the first place. So that material could be Betty Hayward uploading a video of her responding to 28 Alice, calling her out on her shoes or something, or Home Depot, whatever it may be. Or if it's Betty Hayward responding back to Mr. X or Jim Terry rumours, or the other person called Kenny or something. You can watch that video, you can pick out certain words and lines and then twist it in a completely different story, different perspective, in a light-hearted way, and it can seem funny. So like when Betty Hayward was like, oh cool, really, I don't care. Or when she was saying something like to 28 Alice, you know, maybe you can change your channel about, maybe stop showing your face and just speak behind the camera. It'll be a bit more appetizing for people to watch or listen. But then again, your voice is still pretty bad anyway, so people aren't going to watch regardless. You know, she said something like that in response to somebody else, but the way I edited it was in a way that it seemed as if it was aimed at me, but done in a funny way. So then I reacted back. So, you know, so the material can be what people say or what people do. And that can be for positive reasons, by putting a funny, positive spin on it. When it's in terms of a drama conflict situation, that material translates to more so ammunition, okay, which is used as a weapon to hurt people, a weapon to cause harm or destruction. But if you do it in a light-hearted way, it's more so using material to create some form of entertainment. So you've got material can equal entertainment, but if you're talking about a conflict drama scenario, that material goes from that to more so ammunition, then used as a weapon to cause trouble, okay? So I said, returning back to, depending on the situation you're in, if you're a viewer, maybe you're more likely to be more talkative and have a greater, wider reach out there because you involve yourself in different communities and channels. And the more you talk, the more you open up, the more likely you produce that ammunition, which could be turned into a weapon against you in the future by those you may get in trouble with or have tension with, okay? If you're a content creator and you make videos in such of a light-hearted situation or moment, you can make use of material out there to flip it into a form of positive, natural entertainment and fun, as well as reaching out to that person you may be responding back to, said as consent and, you know, understanding first of all, right? And it can turn out positive. But there can be times where you can turn certain material out there, maybe calling you out and putting a bit of a positive spin on it to counteract the resistance. That can also be a feature. But as said, it's always referring back to the theme and the factor of, depending on the environment you're in, that can determine the intensity of the drama you may get involved with. And as well, in addition to that, depending the situation you're in, based off whether you are a content creator or if you're just simply a viewer, one compared to the other, there's a difference in terms of how focused you are. The more focused you are, the more you want to push on, because you've got a reason to do so, and that being you make videos and it's slightly away from the drama, you can keep on going. But a viewer, there's not as much direction, okay? Maybe there's times of temporary direction where you directed to the drama to defend your name, to defend family members, or to defend someone you may support or like. But that's all to do with drama in the first place. I'm talking about a direction which diverts you away from the drama in the first place, or reduces it to begin with, okay? If you don't have that as a viewer, how else can you have a form of direction? As said, by simply reducing the amount of interaction and what you say out there, installing some kind of tower facility in which people you may reach out to, or those that reach out to you, determines on the level of trust and factors there. So you may say certain things here which you wouldn't say on panel or live streams out there, okay? Maybe that's already been demonstrated by many out there, but maybe not to the same level. Maybe you need to level up to reduce the issues over time, okay? Is there anything else to explain from my situation? All I'm saying is basically, I've not really come across as much drama as other people have, and yet I'm a content creator, okay? To put in perspective, and there's no need to mention names, because if it applies to you, then it applies to you. If you think you can relate to it, then maybe because you have already experienced it or you're going through it right now. But me, I've got nearly 10,000 subscribers and I've nearly got 5 million views on my channel. Almost 5 million people have come to my channel to watch my videos. 5 million people is quite a lot, okay? And yes, back then the numbers were low, and over time it's gained a bit more traction. Maybe in a few years' time the numbers will be higher, okay? If you're referring from 2020 onwards, that's when I got the most views and traction, because that's when I started the cases, the mysteries, etc. But you look at the numbers, couple of months ago, within 2 months, nearly, well, it was over 500,000 people watched my videos. Over the last month was about 240, 250,000, and recently about 220,000, okay? It's higher than ever and more frequent than usual. So with that amount of traffic coming on into my channel, it seems very evident and likely that surely I would get attacked badly if that many people are coming in, because the more people that are present, the higher the chances of something going wrong, right? And that hasn't really been the case, because the people that have attacked me, the people that have showed their true colours over time, some of them have been kind of longer time viewers. So regardless of all the other background people that may come in once in a while, which adds to that total tally, even if you have a tight-knit community, that can still go wrong, and it did, technically, okay? And I just simply defended myself along the way. As for the remainder, what is it, 200,000 people that have come along, they haven't really caused any drama. There've been times where people have obviously left negative comments, but that's it. Like someone says, "You suck, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about," you know? something like that. And I've just responded back, whatever, and they may have responded back, and then I responded back, and then that was it, dead. Nothing. Maybe there's a few ongoing people here and there that are coming into the Kenny Veach case that accusing me of clickbait, accusing me of mistitling things, but once again, it's a language barrier. Now, it is my own people from my own country that have caused issues. I'm not surprised, okay? From my experience, and this is just my experience and simply my reality. Not all, but most UK people seem to have a problem, okay? There's something about UK people, okay? But I was born here, unfortunate is what it is. But as for, you know, countries out there, people from other countries, they've shown more care, they've shown more concern, okay, in general, whatever. Like, even one time in the past when it was Christmas time, a person from India cared more about me than people around me in this own country. Okay, strangers in general, but still, a person from India could be considered a bit of a stranger when they don't know you in real life, yet they showed more care and concern towards me than people in my own country. That really sets the boundary. It sounds bad, but at the same time, it's a unique, positive reality. But end of the day, people along the way may come in and might come in with a certain little lines or little accusations, slander, defamation. I'm straight to the point more now. I'll just simply say, that's invalid, that's incorrect. Technically, you're going against YouTube TOS. Be careful, okay? If you want to keep pushing it, well, consequences can follow down the line, okay? So, yeah, there are a few little knobs here and there, but once again, it doesn't lead to outright drama. You can have misunderstandings and disagreements with people, but it doesn't always equal that drama, because drama tends to be more so a long-lasting, ongoing thing, which may involve multiple people and drag others in, like a tornado sucking them in, okay? And then down the line, spitting them out, damaged, lost, broken, maybe. And then having to try and figure out, how do I reduce this? How do I stop it from happening in the future? Well, as I said early on in this video, I gave some little pointers here and there, okay? In a way, just from my experience, it's probably harder. It's harder as a viewer when dealing with drama because of the position you're in. It might be a bit easier if you are a content creator involved in drama or getting attacked. When you're a content creator involved in drama getting attacked, you may have people around you, an audience, people that may look up to you, and depending the situation, if it is genuine and healthy and natural, people on the same level as you. There may be viewers, but they're on the same level as you. People, okay? Like, when it comes to my channel, at times, if people have, like, reached out and they've been very thankful, or if it's been a stranger and I might have commented on them or referred to them, they've been very positive or grateful. And I've not been used to that, because when people watch my videos, I don't see them as at the bottom. I just see them as just people, and that's it. I do videos, they watch, and they could do videos and I watch, so it's kind of like on the same level in a sense. I don't think too much about it in that sense, so it may differ there. But yeah, I think I said this is kind of raw. It's like on the spot, and I said I don't even know if I mentioned it at the start of this video. I can't remember if I did. Maybe I can, well, I probably would have shown a photo at the start if you want to rewind back to the beginning. At the very beginning of this video, I would have shown poll results, and at the time of recording this video, the poll results were 53% wanted this video. So it was kind of narrow, okay, but it etched over the line. More people wanted a video about this compared to the people that didn't, okay? So that's why I'm making it. And really, there's no harm in making it when I've done other videos in the past with the same themes, but a different angle and perspective on it. As I said, I've done videos talking about why drama happens, how it happens, how it's caused, why people do it. And I've talked about the lifespan of it and how it goes about, the patterns and how it can circle back. And now I've talked about the difference between if you're a viewer or if you're a content creator, how one will experience more levels of drama than the other, and methods and steps that can be used and applied to reduce it, to pull it back, okay? Maybe the final tip would be, before you get involved in too much drama or conflict, create a channel. If you're going to be around on YouTube, do something to distract yourself from the drama and conflict, so then it can anchor you down in a different direction, okay? Because over time, countless people may say, oh, I don't care about this YouTube drama. I don't care about YouTube. I don't care about my channel. As said, that's where the reckless behavior and attitude comes from, which then inevitably leads to getting involved in drama and conflict by your own choice, whether you 100% want it or not. That recklessness of I don't care leads to the drama, leads to the collateral damage, leads to all the messiness going on. Now, in my position, do I care about drama? Sometimes it can be entertaining if you're on the outside, looking in, not involved with it. That's a normal, natural human thing. And it's happened many times, okay, with many people out there, right? Maybe more so when you might get drama and conflict and all kinds of breaking news happening elsewhere with other random people. You might listen on in and think, oh, what's going on here? Not to add to the flames, not to give any pointers or thoughts yourself, but just to listen in, just to maybe learn or see it as a bit of passing time or something. I don't know, maybe a distraction or so. Because it is that typical situation, like with anything in life. If you see something bad happen, but you're not involved in it, maybe it feels, oh, that's okay. But then when suddenly you're in the shits, when it goes wrong for you and everybody else isn't experiencing it, it's a different situation. But it's just one of those human things once again, okay? But referring back, right? A viewer can be more prone to getting involved with the drama and conflict, okay? I said, if you're in a situation where you don't care about drama, then technically you should not be getting involved in any to begin with. The way you would completely eliminate drama and conflict, such as on a particular platform, would just be not to participate at all on that platform, not even go on it. But then that seems a bit silly and a bit far-fetched, right? That's why there are healthy limitations you can, what would I call it, deploy, which I've just mentioned earlier. So you're not completely disappearing, but you're just reducing, just decreasing it slightly. So, and maybe even do it slow so it's not too drastic and not too noticeable by others, because that's another factor. You pull out too quick, don't get the wrong idea there, but if you pull out too quick, that can cause issues itself, right? Why? Because if you are currently involved in drama or conflict and then you suddenly run away, go quiet, or said you've had enough of it all, it acts as a message, a signal to the attacker or to the opposition that they have won. They've got under your skin quick enough and deep enough for you to completely detach away from it. But if you did it ever so slightly and slowly, not only do you reduce that conflict and tension, but it fades and dies out, over time, right? And it's not as noticeable, right? Slowly pull away, slowly detach. It could be seen as delaying or stalling or halting it, but it can reduce that imprint you leave behind. Just slowly pull away. If you pull away too quick and too hard, those reins that maybe attach you, get tugged and signal to them, right? You just reduce it slowly. And as I said, when it comes to being a content creator, the only reason why it might be a bit easier to deal with drama, despite having more responsibilities than a simple viewer, it would be because you've got an audience regardless that may back you up or defend you because they want to, naturally, of course. As we know, within true crime communities, you can get audiences which are robots. It's not natural and brainwashing, but I said over here, it's a bit more natural. And the true definition of my channel and the audiences here, the true definition of why Warlight Raft's channel is healthy and natural compared to most other channels out there is simply when things go wrong or when there's conflict and drama, which then I've got to defend myself with, some people stand up and defend me or agree in some way. But then every now and then some people might and ah and then show the true colours and then actually support the attacker of who's gone after me. And the reason why that's natural and genuine is the fact that these people have involved themselves and at times where I'm labelled or painted in a bad way incorrectly, that the general public, some of them are reacting to how they would and want to react without feeling that they've got to say yes and that they've got to defend me. Some people choose not to, and while that could be seen as bad, snake in the grass, it's natural response from them, and you want natural responses from people. A natural response would be sometimes people agree and then other times they won't, right? And that's what kind of happens here. If everybody agreed every time, all the time, it'd be kind of boring. It might be a bit dull and it might feel a bit weird, but that would be as a result of brainwashing, indoctrination, as it's demonstrated elsewhere on other platforms and channels, okay? So that's one of the definitions of why here it's more healthy, because people do pull out at times. People do show their true colours, and it's welcomed and it's allowed and it's documented and it's public, and for most part of it, it's not blocked or censored. And it also makes it easier for the other general public to know who is who on my channel, right? That's why when I do videos, I always make reference points to who is who and where people come from, right? Oh yeah, that person's a Salty Pancakes viewer. That person's an ex-viewer. And I mention that so then other people know, right, so if that person came from there, they might have a certain attitude problem or a certain way of thinking, right? I said, you know, people can surround themselves with others if they relate to one another and may share certain personality traits for the right reasons or the wrong, okay? I said, we've seen the endless cycle of people saying, I'm done with the drama, I've had enough. A few days later, they're back to it once again. What's the driving force and factor behind those type of people, viewers or channel owners, that just keep going round and round in that cycle and circle? I believe I have mentioned it in the past, so you can always look back at the videos. Some people may use it as a life support machine to help their channel stay alive and active. And viewers may choose to use it as a life support machine because it's a form of entertainment to them, or it keeps them busy, keeps their mind active. Now, few people in between, such as King Samoan or whoever, basically said that those that cause a drama or attack one another and all that messy stuff that goes on, it's people who have no life. But the reality is, I have come across people in life that have done bad things or have screwed me over or been nasty, turned on me, both in real life as well, take that into consideration, but also online. And afterwards, they've gone on like nothing has happened. They show no emotion, they show no apologies, they show nothing, and they just simply move on and keep on doing whatever they're doing and actually have a life and do somewhat okay and are somewhat positive, right? Bad people can still be better off than good people who don't cause trouble. But people don't always acknowledge that reality because it's a dark one, but it happens, okay? Sometimes it catches up, other times it doesn't, or maybe sometimes it's more delayed, but I'm just basing it from my experience, okay? So yeah, I think that's mainly it. I might have mentioned a few points, or I might have, you know, not acknowledged everything, but this is raw, this is on the spot, it is going to be a bit, I don't know, the flow could be not as good as it normally is, but what I've noticed, just as an observation, okay, if I've got to defend myself, I tend to be a bit more responsive. The flow is there because it's kind of like a race against time. Let's get this out, let's explain it quick before it escalates. But a situation like this where you're just simply sitting back, taking it in, whilst trying to help others when you're not a part of the problem or you're not caused or, you know, caught up in the issue, it's easier to think. That's why I've always said when it comes to the missing person cases, the true crime communities, that if you get people, whether it be friends, family, or outsiders that are emotionally attached to the victim of a missing person or someone that's passed away, you're probably less likely to be successful in understanding it as a whole or keeping it balanced because you're too emotionally driven. You may get emotionally manipulated, you might become vulnerable, prone to hearing of misinformation, believing in it when it's not true, and just going down the wrong pathway, just not having that balance. Whereas if you're in a situation where you can sit back and you can think both positive, negative, and look at it from different sides, point of view, simply because you're not caught up in it, because you're not too emotional, because you're not like a friend or a family member of that missing person. You can think clearer, right? But if you're in a situation where a case event impacts you negatively, that can also impact your judgment and outlook on a case if you're getting involved, which can alter and impact your performance. I mean, lesser in importance, but still a relevant example. If I was playing a game and it annoyed me, frustrated me, and I thought, you know what, I've had enough, I'll move on to a different game instead. And I might drag over that mood, that negative, that pissed off mood, and bring it into another game that I'm trying to play. And because of that, it still negatively alters and impacts my performance. And then I'm like, oh, I can't do anything, right? You've either got to try and detach it from one to another when transversing over, or you just stop for a bit, okay, depending, and then maybe when you return back a bit more fresh, refreshed. Maybe some people, and I don't know how often it applies, where someone that's really passionate or emotionally invested in something, where they don't demonstrate the balance, but maybe down the line they manage to do so eventually with learning. I'm not too sure about that. Do people learn from the drama? As I said, people seem to go in like a cycle or so, right? Yeah, I think we'll leave it there because I can't really think of anything else left to say. I'll just try and summarize it in a few words right now. A viewer, an audience member, can get involved in drama and conflict by choice or not, due to how they go about. If they're reckless, more intensified, higher chances. If you really don't care or you've really had enough, then try and put it into play. If you find it difficult, do something as a distraction. You want to get away from drama, conflict, but the people you like, where you get on well and what you find fun, is on a platform or a community with people who are caught up in drama, which then kind of makes you a part of the drama too. How do you limit that? Well, one way would be still being present, but not publicly participating in chat or panel, but communicating with those people in the background if you truly trust them. So you still watch along, you still listen in, but you don't actively show yourself. Just like as a form of negotiation. Because the thing is, maybe it happens more than you think, that quite a bit of the drama and conflict goes about from channel to channel, community to community, with the different audiences. And you might get on well with people or with a channel, but if that channel or that community or that audience, despite you getting on very well with them, that area is a part of the tornado or a hotspot for the tornadoes passing through. For as long as you remain there, you're always going to come across the drama and you may get attacked in the process. So ultimately, you got to ask yourself this more so as a viewer. You may enjoy the community, you may enjoy the people, and you may like them. But at the same time, you hate drama, you can't stand it, you've had enough of it. But for as long as you remain around that group with those people, despite being positive, you're also going to experience the negatives, which are the drama. So either you put up with it and just keep on going, or you break away, but not completely. You negotiate, you break away, but still stay in contact with those people you get on well with in the background or on a different channel, such as if you start your own one up, right? Maybe that's why people break away over time. We get these like cell groups, individual cell groups splitting apart, creating inner ones and smaller communities. But with certain characters and personalities out there, if they're well known or they're targeted by people out there, it's like they're a constant target with a contract killer situation. So if you're constantly around a person that's wanted, or such as on a hit list, you might always get involved with danger, right? That'd be another example. Actually, I'm probably not going to use any more examples because I know YouTube will probably get a bit too sensitive, but you get the idea. You might get on well with somebody and they cause you no harm, you cause them no harm, but because they have caused other people problems, or just that they've been caught up in other issues, that when you're around them, you become a beacon of all that bad stuff happening, which is then maybe aimed towards you. Because as we've seen, that if you associate yourself with somebody else, then you become an enemy of them, in a sense, or somebody else. I mean, Well, it'd be like a very brief example, not so much that I was attacked, but I actually saw the process of it, how it could all unfold. There was a time where there was, what was it, a channel called Vegas Girl or something, and I basically said on my channel page, shout out to them, here's the channel if you want to check it out yourself. And the moment I did that, there was a response from other random individuals supposedly watching my videos telling me that, no, that person's evil, that person's nasty, that person's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And I have no clue what's going on, okay? But it's basically that I wasn't, well, people will see it advertising. The backstory of it was this person called Vegas Girl was simply sharing my videos to their channel. They didn't have to, but they chose to. That's good of them. Spreading awareness, spreading the word of my videos, which can help with reach and getting other people to come on over to share their thoughts and opinions on the case and stuff. So it was good what they did. Kind of like what Miss T did consistently in the past, which was good, and even Watch Her Crazy at some point, and maybe Betty Hayward in between, right? So they do what they do naturally. I don't ask them, I don't demand them, they just do it, and I end up coming across it. So I think, okay, that's good of you, shout out to you, that's it. Just simple acknowledgement, that's all, nothing more, nothing less. But that acknowledgement of that particular channel Vegas Girl, because they're supposedly caught up in all kinds of drama and ongoing things out there with others, those others, the odd ones, saw the post by me and then instantly thought that I was on Thingy's side and stuff, and thought, oh, you see how it unfolds, right? So because I don't actively get involved with all the different allegiances and groups out there, I don't have that experience. But on that very one occasion where I just simply acknowledged somebody, some instantly saw it in a different way, and then being warned about this and warned about that. Not that I was being attacked, no. It was more that the person warning me was like doing it out of concern from their perspective. But I could tell that if in a situation, a different time and a different place, that if I did say, oh my God, I'm best buddies with this person, I'm going to really push them out there, I'm even going to invite them on my panel, if I did one, that's when it would all go downhill. And you see previous video explanations as to one of the reasons why I don't do live stream panels, call-ins like that. If at any point, okay, if like when messing about doing the like light-hearted videos in the past, you did a live call-in panel or something with Watch Her Crazy, Betty Hayward, if things didn't go downhill at some points, and then some other people in between, could be light-hearted, but then others and outsiders that may see that video, they may instantly think, oh, inviting them onto the panel, oh, well, there you go, allegiances and groups being placed there. Oh, that person who we once saw is now an enemy of us because they now associate with them. But really, it wasn't because of that. It was just like a random, light-hearted video to do with stuff. So, yeah, the whole allegiances can get misunderstood at times, right? And because I don't pledge allegiance to really anybody, I don't really get caught up in half the drama other people do, right? As said, networking, connecting with multiple people, you know, whether it be fully, literally, or temporary, you can be seen as an enemy of others out there and targeted, right? So limit the networking to reduce the workload, or just simply to reduce the tension and how you could become a target at a point in time. So that's another method you can implement, okay? In terms of the reach of this video, I don't think it's going to do well. I don't think it's going to get many views because I know YouTube won't push this video out there in terms of impressions. Obviously, if more people engage in the comments and like the video, then YouTube more likely to push the video, but it shouldn't have to be that way, technically speaking, because it feels forced. But all I'm saying is, as an observation, I don't think this video will get enough reach, and I don't think enough people will watch it or see it, which is unfortunate because this video could be very helpful towards people out there. But for at least the people that did watch this video, and for those that are caught up in drama and conflict, hopefully certain methods and observations made here and tips could be used and put into play in the future by people out there watching, which then could reduce the drama and conflict, okay? There'll be some out there that will constantly go in a constant cycle. There's not much you can do about that, right? The whole pledging allegiance or supposedly doing it. I mean, look, this is the thing. When you get the likes of Jim Terry, Mr. X, the constant reference to, oh, the Watcher of Crazies, the Betty Haywoods, the Miss T's, the Fumblenuts, the Kayleys, the this, the that, all together, all in association with one another, or at least at some point, okay? All those names drawn out the hat into one because they're all supposedly with one another, all in support of one another, right? It's not always the case. But my name doesn't come up in that basket because I'm not involving myself in that group full on. If that makes sense. There was one time though where when Gorilla Jack was doing some explanation video before it all blew up and went downhill from there, Gorilla Jack did tag and mention a number of people, including me, because Gorilla Jack did watch my videos, and I, at the time, did the light-hearted gorilla videos and just random stuff in response to him. So, like, he was like kind of like a supporter on the channel, just a viewer, right, in a sense. So when he did a video to, I guess, explain the situation with that current drama and conflict at the time, that the people who he tagged, including me, then made certain communities and channels out there assume and come to the conclusion that anybody Gorilla Jack tags in the post, those people that have been tagged are paedophiles or something. That sounds like a salty pancakes mentality thing. Yeah, it's a bit silly. But you see how if you directly get involved with groups of people or indirectly get involved and then you get mentioned by those at a time when they're getting attacked, that the third party people that are the true attackers or the stirrers of conflict then instantly assume that you're a part of it all as one big group when you're not, and I'm just here bloody clueless wondering what the hell's going on, right? So as I said, sometimes you involve yourself, it can come with excess baggage, and even when you indirectly do it, it can come with excess baggage, right? Whereas if you're like a no-named individual or like a grey matter individual within the crowd, you're doing your own thing, keeping your head down, you're less likely to get called out. But it all comes down to the choice you make and what you want to do. Do you want to get involved with others? Do you want to participate in all kinds of stuff? Well, if you do, just be aware that it could come with the conflict and could come with the drama, right? But if you're just simply watching, you don't even leave comments, right? The reality is, if you don't have an account on YouTube, but you just simply watch videos, there's really no way you'll get caught up in drama or conflict because nobody knows who you are and nobody knows if you're watching or not. And if you're never leaving comments, then no one's got anything to say about you. So that's the ultimate position to be in if you want to be able to watch videos, enjoy them without the interaction and without the drama. But one extreme to another, right? Either you want to interact and you get drama, or you don't interact, no drama, but it might be a bit boring. Depends which option you choose. But there's always an in the middle bit, the middle ground, where you do a bit of this, you receive a bit of that, but you don't do too much of this, you don't receive too much of that, okay? And that's a situation like I'm in, okay? It's harder to deal with drama as a viewer because you don't have an audience, because you're just a viewer yourself. Less people around you in that sense. Not like a true foundation as if you're an established channel. But then, as holistically speaking, as I said at the start of the video, you'd think you'd be more prone to receiving more criticism and drama if you put yourself out there more and you're an actual channel owner, which then makes you a target in general on people's radars, compared to if you're just simply a viewer that may comment here and there every now and then. So there is still dangers of being a content creator as well on a channel, but there's different ways to how you can limit it. And throughout this entire video, I might have repeated myself a few times, but it's just so people remember and pick up on it. So I think I've been a naughty boy because the length of this video might mean there's not enough storage on this phone. Naughty individual I am. There we go. I'm not going to do any more because I know YouTube will probably get into a bit of a whingy, whiny state, and I'm sure Watcher Crazy will probably have another, I don't know, the blood pressure will raise through the roof. And then as for the odd other person out there who may have a fever or something still, and that burning sensation lasting, go away. Not the person, but the illness. I've got to provide context there, that could provide more misunderstanding. So that's it for now. casual video. Majority of people in the poll wanted to see it, so that's why it's been delivered. Hopefully you enjoyed it, maybe you learned something new, maybe you can apply it in the future, we'll see what happens. Could this video have caused some tension in itself? Maybe, but likely not too much because of the reach of the video, but hopefully it still helps somebody out there. I'll see you next time, whatever that might be, whenever, and yeah, good night, goodbye for now.